Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm David Collins, and I'm just going to talk to you through our program that we have at the Foundation Clinic, where we take archetypes in rebuilding someone's ego when they've come into treatment, and how we can support them in their process of recovery. So, a lot of you all know that when people come into treatment, their persona is pretty damaged, and that the role of treatment is to support people in rebuilding their identity. And a lot of people come into treatment and they identify as somebody being in recovery. So we've taken the 12 steps as a foundation using the spiritual principles of the 12 steps to support people in getting well and rebuilding themselves, so that they can go out into the world and create a life of meaning and purpose in recovery. And this has proved to be a challenge for individuals, and we're continuously trying to find ways to improve treatment outcomes. So essentially, the clinic sits in the biopsychosocial model. We have a licensed 24-bed facility in Johannesburg, South Africa, and our program is a 3-week program where we work with the individual on spiritual principles. Let's see if I can draw on the screen. Where we work with the individual on week 1 is spiritual principles. Week 2 is the brain and the mind, and week 3 is community and growth. And it's a rolling program, and which basically means that the clients go from Monday to Sunday, and it's a 3-week, 21-day program that keeps repeating itself. So it doesn't really matter where you are in the program, you can come in somewhere and you will start your journey. So maybe you'll come here, you'll go into detox for 3 days, and then you'll join the program when you feel fit, and then you'll complete the program. This is how that works. And some people that come in from overseas, there'll be a 6-week program, so they'll do it twice. And our program is actually a year long, which basically means that people can stay in our community for a year, continuously deepening the learning. So we start off with the spiritual principles of recovery, which is the 12-step stuff. We talk about the Jelinek curve and where treatment sits. We talk about the 4 causes of addiction, and we start to find out what the individual's values are, and continue on to what a culture of recovery is, find out what co-occurring mental health and addictive behaviors are, and relapse awareness. So that's really what we're doing. And then we're looking at the neuroscience, the brain, the mind being triggered, trauma recovery, mindfulness, some CBT models there. Then we've got the whole hungry, angry, lonely, tired, scarf, and various kind of CBT models, and the brain and emotional intelligence. And then we talk about community and growth. What communities are you going to be part of? Now, a lot of people would join 12-step programs, but not everyone resonates with that. So really where I want to go today is I want to go forward into what treatment is in terms of our program, and what the clients are expecting. And I want to go on to that in terms of the archetypes. So there we go. That's a nice messy slide. So let me just remove all those drawings. So, and I'm just going to focus on the masculine for the moment. There's obviously the feminine as well. Um, so what we teach our clients, or what we want to stress, is the 4 archetypes that we have. So we have the warrior archetype, which sits over in the top over here. And the warrior, the emotion of the warrior is anger. And the gift of anger is healthy boundaries. So our clients will come in here and they'll be detox. They'll go into get the biology of treatment first. So if you look over here on the right-hand side, our client will be coming into treatment and they'll enter this part of the program. And what we're trying to do is get the client to understand what healthy boundaries are. And to do that, we need to tap into the archetype of the warrior. And the three spiritual principles that we trying to teach our clients to become aware of is the honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And that comes directly from the 12-step program. So honesty is like, do you know that you've got a problem? Are you open-minded to the solution? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to get there? And that's steps 1, 2, and 3. So the person will be going through the detox process, and then they'll start to move into the psychology of the program. So it's the biopsychosocial model. So the biology the body has gotten restored, it starts to get better, and now the brain is starting to come back online. The client has started to settle into treatment. There are healthy boundaries around them. They're in a safe environment. They're starting to feel grounded. They know where they are within the facility. They've been orientated to the program, and then they can start to move on into the kind of the lover quadrant. And the lava quadrant over here is sadness, so kind of step 4, 5, and 6. So the client will move down into this quadrant here, and then we have various spiritual principles. Are they starting to trust the process? Are they getting the courage to change? And can they start to get to a place of acceptance? And if we look on the outside, this is someone's denial process, going from denial to acceptance. Yeah. So it's denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, and acceptance. And this is where a lot of treatment facilities finish. They sort of finish in this quadrant over here, and then people get sent out into the world. What we do is we hold our clients in our recovery wellness program as they start to move into the quadrant of fear, start to move from the lover into the magician archetype, the fear archetype, and the gift of fear of it gives you intuition. And we're trying to get our clients to embrace the fear as they start to rebuild their lives. So they're going to be going out into the world and they're going to have to rebuild those relationships. So a lot of people in treatment do very well in treatment. The challenge is when they go out into the outside world, that's where the problem is. So it's the outside environment that causes the person the problem in the first place. And really, what we're trying to do then with our clients is to move them into the sovereign space where they start to take agency for their life, where they are, and they start to move into the king space. So over here on the right, they start to take responsibility. They sort through prayer and meditation. Why am I here? What's my purpose? And then they can go out into their life and practice these principles in all our affairs. And that sits in the king archetype. And that's really the cycle, the process that we're trying to take our clients through as they rebuild who they are and what's been going on for them. And it takes time, and the research shows that, and the way that we measure success is the way that if our clients can stay engaged in the program, um, are they coming to the aftercare? Are they coming to the online meetings? Are they sticking around and being part of the community and integrating what they're learning? And not only the client, but also their family members and other family members engaging in the program. So just now I want to go a bit further into the archetypes. And what I did is I used ChatGPT and Google Gemini to create some images. So I put in there, create a image of a warrior that has dedicated their life to uh, service. Yeah, and these are the images that came back. And you can, if you look at somebody that's kind of creating healthy boundaries, these pictures for me talk about warriors that kind of, there's kind of a king warrior uh, that is kind of I would say he's got kind of king warrior energy. He's the king out on the battlefield. Here is a servant warrior energy, somebody who's kind of in service of the king and using their energy to protect the realm and their family and the people that they love and care for. And if I would say that this was more of a kind of a lover warrior, somebody that's going to, only tap into their warrior energy and they're using more of the compassion lover to go out into the world and make the world a better place. And over here, I would say this is wise magician warrior archetype. So this gives our clients a sort of a map to see where they are. So if we go down to the right-hand corner, each individual, what we're trying to do is get our clients to find their center, where's their center, so that they can use their emotions in the mature way. So, for example, for me as a young child growing up, yeah, I would feel a lot of guilt and shame around the emotion of anger based on what I would feel when I grew up and my father would model anger for me. And my father was quite violent alcoholic. And what would happen is for me growing up and seeing that anger, I would feel a lot of shame about feeling the emotion. So what I would do is I would suppress my anger, I would swallow my anger, and then I'd move into the shadow archetype. But I'll go into that a bit later. So let's start to move on. Um, where we're going to be going next is we're going to be going to the lover as we start to move around the presentation. So where's the lover? Did I pass it? There's the lover energy. Yeah. So the lover energy is sadness. The emotional gateway is sadness when it comes to the lover. We're trying to get the person to tap into to their lover energy, their sadness, and create a lot of compassion. So a lot of people that work in this field, they can be the wounded healer. They've taken their sadness and they use it as an asset to create deep compassion and healing for people. And unfortunately, a lot of people that work in the field haven't done their own work around their own individual trauma and sadness, and that can often leak out into the relationships that we have with our clients. So here's the coach, and then here's the client. And because the coach hasn't done their work, it leaks into the container where we should be serving our client. And these are one of the challenges that need to be watched out for, hence supervision. And working with clients and people in this field, a lot of people have 12-step recovery and they want to work in the field and they don't understand the professional boundaries of what needs to happen around being a professional. So let's move to the magician. So magician is fear, and fear gives you the gift of intuition, and the for me myself, I'm a magician king, so I use my fear to help me rule the kingdom that I'm responsible for. And a lot of my suppressed fear, which would show up in anxiety, I would trickster and manipulate people by being the joker, and that doesn't really serve me, it doesn't really serve my clients. And so for me, what I would do is I would have anger issues, which I would feel ashamed of expressing my anger, and I'd have fear and anxiety. And so what would happen is I would live in this sort of realm somewhere where it came to lead my kingdom. And so my own personal work to my center has been about owning my fear, yep, and being able to talk to it in a way that is clear and direct, and to start to use my anger to create healthy boundaries. So instead of swallowing my anger here, to come in from that and to express my anger in a healthy way while remaining deeply compassionate and understanding of how other people have been hurt. So down here in the bottom left-hand corner, the bottom right-hand corner, you can see I'm the masochist archetype here, and I'm the weakling king, and I'm the trickster. And my work has been to move to my center, and I continue to work to the center. So as I create this presentation, I can still feel my fear is projecting out into the world that I'm going to be judged and criticize, which really has is a result of kind of childhood trauma that has happened in the past, which creates me to be the impotent lover. So I don't bring my magic to the world. I hide my light under a rock, and I detach. Yep. So my work in becoming a whole person is to move here. And then I can get deeply passionate about this work and start to run around and become the sadist dictator where my ego really kind of takes over, and I start to suffer from hubris, and I think I'm bigger than what I am, and so I need to kind of humble myself and move towards my center there. So there's a lot going on here, and as we continue to work with our clients and to work in the world and the complexities of the world that we have in terms of gender, role clarity, that sort of thing, these are all sorts of things that are coming into the treatment facility. So let's just keep going here. Now let's move towards the feminine side of things. So here are some pictures of feminine warriors that you can see. This picture here uh, looks to me a bit like Charlize Theron, and you can see her in the Mad Max movie. Here's somebody that could be similar to somebody in what was that movie? Avatar. Yeah, and here's somebody from that Mel Gibson, what's it called, Braveheart. Yeah, and you can see the influences. And here we've got kind of noble knight influence here, or Joan of Arc, and what's also very interesting is when you can see anger in the feminine. If you want to like kind of harm a woman's children, you can really see that anger come out, and that can play out in our societies. And you can get the shadow, you can get the shadow of an archetype of the Karen, which is a typical white entitled female that kind of goes and demands to be seen and noticed and stomps all over other people. And yeah, so that's a kind of a modern day archetype. So here we move into the lover, compassion. There are some AI generated images of, you know, a lover. And I should have really done one on the maiden, but I didn't. And there are lots of archetypes, as you'll know, but these are just kind of basic ones. So here we have a crone, the wise old woman, and there's somebody who looks like Mother Teresa, and there's wise woman from, let's say, Native American roots, and maybe there's a wise Russian woman or a witch, and yeah, so you can see that the archetypes are the same. And here we have a queen. So I've generated some pictures of various kind of queen blessing energy. And the emotion of the sovereign energy is joy. So where can we use joy and bring joy and blessing into our realm, our communities, the people that we work and serve with? And the reason for all this is the staff at the clinic and everyone kind of understands what we're trying to work with our clients and to support them in their journey and what's happening for them. So if we move forward, and now we move to Father Sky, the energy that is above us, that's where the rain comes from, where the sun is, the Father Sky that watches over us. And these pictures here are kind of a bit biblical, but you get the idea of Father Sky. And if we move forward, we can, as we move down the axis, down our center, we have our own uniqueness that. Oh, hang on, how do I go back? I've gone too far here. We have our own unique gifts, our who we are as individuals. So each person that comes into the clinic is unique, and we all have our ancestral lineage, those people that have gone before us. That's very important in treatment, where someone's ancestors from, what's their cultural background, how can we bring that into somebody's recovery. And then we have Mother Earth that provides for us, looks after us, nurtures us, nourishes us. And we're trying to get a whole archetype together that lives in not only our organization, but the staff that we have. So this is a picture of Fumlani. He's one of our nurses. That's typically, stereotypically, nursing is seen as a feminine role, which just isn't true. You have a lot of male nurses, and Umlani really brings a lover warrior energy. You can see there in his face, caring for the clients and also protecting the facility. People, when they come into our area, it's about protecting our environments for our clients to thrive in. When they arrive at the facility, there are a picture of the steps, the 12 steps, which are the spiritual principles, and our clients can walk up those steps and then go into the reception area over here. And once they go into the reception area, they start to get processed, for want of a better word, but the paperwork and everything, treatment plans, case management, social works, all that come into place. And then once they enter into the area, this is the main garden that the residents get to sit in and to recuperate. And you can see we're all walled off here. So there's a big wall around the facility that protects our clients and contains them. Yeah, and he got a lovely picture of a majestic peacocks that come and visit us in the garden. And it really brings a lot of magical, transformational energy into our space. So that's where we're ending the presentation today. It gives you an idea of our program and how we use the archetypes as a foundation for somebody's growth, but they don't necessarily know what is happening. Yeah? So we need to judge where our clients are and where they are in their process, and then as a team to work around them. So thank you for watching this short presentation. I hope it was helpful. It gives you an introduction, an idea of what we're doing. And this really kind of separates us from kind of traditional treatment facilities in the sense that this environment creates a lot more integration for our individual patients. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.